Whoa there, go-getter. Say, have you ever considered the benefits of becoming a semi-confidential, unpaid informant for Auntie's Choice? Breathe once for yes. Field Agent Auerbach, proprietary inside acquisition. Our team's presently occupying these premises, but haven't fully brought them to heel, per se. Say, you look like some sort of rogue former member of the Order. Maybe you could tell us what this place is supposed to be.
Me? Part of the Order? Oh, no, dear. I assure you I simply share their love of sweeping cloaks and sciencey-looking accessories. I shall update my wardrobe to avoid such confusion.
Would you happen to be familiar with this campus? We're not entirely clear what it was used for. As far as we can tell, Order's been cleared out for some time. If not, I might politely inquire what exactly you're doing here. We scour rival facilities for hidden recipes, secret formulas, special ingredients, and assorted confidential internal know-how, then develop it into products to bring to market. It's a unique brand of warfare, exclusive to Auntie's Choice, designed to break incredible ingenuities out of cloistered captivity and share them across the galaxy.
Hell of a way of putting it. An agent of theirs once liberated a healing compound from my medbag and sold it back to me for twice the price.
Information wants to be freed, then priced and shared along understood lines of commodification and distribution. That seemingly unimposing edifice over there? Good luck with that. Lost a few peons in there. Place is full of deleterious traps devised by Order ingenuity. Whatever's stored inside must really be something. At some point, we'll work up the nerve to return. Been scouring all the other buildings clean since. Uh-huh. Sure you will. Well, suppose we'll let you in. You might disable a death trap or two with your bodies, then we can step over your cadavers and maybe use them for a shield. Alternately, if you manage to find anything marketable, probably be game to barter for it later. Assuming you don't die. Which in that case, we'll probably just retrieve it off your corpse. Either way.
Oh, a customer. You have needs. I have purloined goods to upsell. Got a good supply of Auntie's Choice finest, and some well-built Order items, scavenged from this very facility. Looking's free. Rest costs extra.
To become top canin of the Protectorate? Infinite confidence, man. He played the long game as aide de camp to 2 generations of sovereigns.
You're new. Don't seem like another one of these trade secret vultures either. War means nothing to them, you know. How about you? Know there's a war on, don't you? You here to help me win it? Oh, been out in the field, have you? I like the sound of that. Might be just the go-getter I need. A Sub-Rosa finagler operates out of the Port Authority building at the landing pad near Winter's Grasp. Sub-Rosa works with both sides, understood. But I want to know what she's into with the Protectorate. Let's say I'm curious. Learn anything useful? Ha! A base opportunist after my own heart. Well, she can continue swindling the Protectorate then. Here's a little something for your trouble.
Oh, look who finally decided to appear.
Anais, you're not supposed to be here.
Events prove otherwise, don't they? While you were taking your time arriving, I found a way inside these corporate drones haven't discovered. I've grown rather adept at sneaking in and out of these so-called restricted areas unseen. Peeked around a little. They've conveniently posted signs where various types of dangerous research materials are stored away.
Leave it to the Order to rigorously catalog everything.
Burn down initiation is listed on the top floor. They destroy materials through immolation there.
The research will be in reinforced containers, so enlisting the facility's own incineration measures would be prudent. Anais, stay here. Please.
I expected such to be your attitude, but I'll have you know that
I am not doubting your abilities. Quite the opposite. I need you to guard this entrance. Anyone appears, come running.
fine. Go. I uncovered a vent in that office. Standard order redundancy measure. Let's outpass the barrier over there.
I'll hang back a moment while you depower that fence. Wriggling through vents is a young person's game after all. We'll stay here. You find a way to disable these fences. Torpificator is charged.
Research studies prove that disengaging from complex tasks for a time to engage the mind in unrelated challenges has downstream beneficial effects for problem solving. Thus, our department attempted to design a series of stress-reducing educational challenges to facilitate these efforts. After some light early successes, we refined further and received results beyond our wildest intent. Soon, members of other departments were idling away in our offices for hours, absorbed with what soon became known as brain puzzlements. My personal productivity was quite adversely affected by them.
Hello? Someone there? Hello? Help! Please! Thank the law somebody came by. I've been rationing my anti-Cleo Borst rockets, and you know what? Your tongue turns black if you eat them all week. Might concerning, since it's all I have. We was sizing up the place, well, the lobby, when our boss ordered us to find an off switch for them traps, which required us to negotiate through or around said traps to do so. A bunch of the others got killed. I got stuck in here. Boss left with the rest. You think you could get me out somehow? Like, right about now, even?
Hold on. You're not even remotely considering releasing him, are you? A trade secret vulture from Auntie's choice? Free to roam in a building full of order secrets?
What are you suggesting? That we let this poor fool die a slow, lonesome death?
Just consider for a moment. We're here to keep dangerous research from spreading, from falling into the wrong hands. I certainly wouldn't want Auntie's choice obtaining research related to cataclysmal ends, or monetizing prevaricated hypotheses for that matter. At the end of the day, it's just an Auntie's choice auxiliary dabbler. Hardly a cute little woolly cow or something. That's actually a valid point. We shouldn't forget who we are, and I suppose I'm not who I was.
I don't understand what you two are talking about, but it sounds positive, I think.
Do whatever you think is best here. I still don't completely agree, but I trust your decision.
I promise not to, blow up the universe. Or, whatever it is you two are worried about, I guess. Can you let me out now, please? Phew. Well, that's a relief. Didn't think I'd ever get free. No thanks to you, ma'am.
Be grateful you're not on fire.
Don't have to tell me twice. This is all the bits I have on me. Not much, but thanks. I'll be out of here as soon as it seems safe.
You're young and spry. You can handle that. We'll stay here. Did I read that correctly? Seemed concerning.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we've got company in the form of an Auntie's Choice patrol. Seems their representative wishes to parley.
Don't shoot! Like she said, I'm just here to talk. Believe I've pieced together what you all are up to here. And I am willing to offer a mutually beneficial arrangement. Spied the signs on the way up. Our team has a keen interest in much of the research stored here. But cataclysmic ends, which I presume you're here to destroy, don't like the sound of that at all. By all means, burn every last trace. But let us keep the rest, and you'd benefit as well.
The idea of any Order research falling into Auntie's Choice hands is utterly abhorrent to me. I advise a rigorous refusal, as in no witnesses.
I could hear that, you know. Hoping she's not your main negotiator here. Nothing elaborate. Bits. A bunch of them. Enough to buy yourself something nice.
You're not seriously considering this, are you? These two-faced snake oil peddlers are incapable of making an honest deal.
Oh, nothing particularly heinous. We may conceivably utilize some information in the possible formation of potential new products. No harm to you, or anyone.
Can't really predict how Auntie's Choice would market heretical miscellany, but I could easily foresee them rushing detrimental cognitive enhancers to market.
Unfortunately, she's right, and our R&D ain't what it used to be. We'd best be careful with any sensitive intel.
Suppose I'd be reasonably happy with that. Some claim these mental recreations possess untapped commercial potential. I accept. If it's all the same to you, I'll just dawdle here while you complete the process. You know, in case you change your mind.
I'll prep the burners and make sure we have no more visitors. Burners are lit. Control board is activated. Commence the burn down process.
Burn down controls are ready. Will you do the honors? Well then, that seems sufficiently carbonized, cinderized. No half measures from the Order. Say what you will about them, but they are nothing if not thorough.
Excellent. Well, a deal's a deal. Meet me downstairs after you're done here, and we'll settle up.
And all Auntie's Choice receives from it all are some distractful diversions. Well, that should decimate Auntie's Choice productivity for the foreseeable future. Nicely done.
My original notes and research are burnt to a crisp. It's over, finally.
I'm sorry, but I saw on the terminal that an external party gained authorization to study it. There's at least one set of copies out there. Give me some time. I'll find them.
What do you need from me?
To go on and live your life. Round other people, not holed up in a dilapidated shack. We'll settle the rest.
You can't possibly expect to leave me behind again without a fight.
Why don't we burn that bridge when we get to it? We still need to get out of here first.
Pleasure doing business with you. I can't wait to monetize this brain puzzle garbage.
Be sure to try it. Should be right engaging. For anyone with a little gray in their upper story.
Maybe I will at that. We deeply appreciate your assistance in further expanding the ever-growing Auntie's Choice proprietary insight catalog. Be seeing you.
Suppose this is goodbye. No. I recognize that look in Marisol's eyes. There's nothing for it. Been interesting to see you. Before I forget, I meant to give you this. Little something I made.
So we're good? You and I. Everything settled?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but good as ever. Don't think I don't see what you're doing with all this, though. You've always been who you are, but you weren't you for decades. A new cause comes up and you take it on immediately. Because saving the universe is easier than confronting yourself. Whoever you are now, whoever you're going to be, just take care. Don't be a stranger.
Goodbye, Anais. Thank you kindly. I think I am. Appreciate your support. Been a spell since I could rely on anyone like that. Though, suspect that's my own damn fault. Anais snuck something by me again, didn't she? What was that last thing she said? Don't be a stranger. Right. All right. I suppose you remain on my good side. May the plan favor us against long odds. Investigating hostile intentions. Don't become a statistic, Commander. Medic, please! Someone call for a medic. Let's get you healed. To the rest, I'm down in case you haven't noticed. Thank you. Energy transmitter active.
Practicing some battlefield medicine.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Let's stake our claim. Protectorate got this locked up tight, but we can unseal it somewhere by the archive's entrance, if I recall.
I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense of the archive, but it is horrifyingly banal. I mean, I've been stationed in some backwater burgs in the past. Seriously? Do these Order eggheads do anything for fun around here? It's all map charts and chalkboards, and how many abakai does one outpost need? Hope they never retake this place, because I'm throwing all of it away.
Enjoy your time in the garden.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this, but if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Good to see you again. I had hoped we could speak earlier, but no matter. A little time remains. You are a crucial variable in the solution to a critical problem. Since the unfortunate end of the peace talks, Gertie and I have kept in communication, and we believe it is still possible to get the Order and Auntie's Choice to work together. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do. For yourself, for us, for Arcadia. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart, a bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now, with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Yes, by all reports it was. But the plan evidently has greater outcomes prepared for Vicar Levin. He is, at that. I consider him a close personal friend, and I cannot say that about many. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. I just received the most curious transmission from Auntie Cleo. She wishes to discuss a partnership of sorts, and I heard you were the source of this plot. I'm confident that Vicar Levin played a part as well, but you can negotiate the credit with him at a later date. I must admit I have significant doubts about colluding with an entity like Auntie's Choice. Why should the Order agree to even entertain the possibility?
Simply put, we got the troops, the firepower, and the know-how to beat the Protectorate. Respectfully, I think we both know that your forces can't do that on their own.
Military support loses its usefulness quickly in times of peace. It is that which gives me pause, among other concerns. Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. Auntie Cleo has already proposed a secure conference room on board the Undisputed Claim for our use. I will await your arrival there to mediate.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with Presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
So, we met what passes for the presiding bishop these days. Can't say I came off much impressed. That was certainly one thing, yes. A real scientician would have referenced the calculations that led to her decisions. Without the predictive data, it can all seem off the cuff. Orlo cited exhaustively. Every meeting took hours. We had rooms filled with chalkboard equations, computational printouts, and graphs. Oh, I had plenty on my mind during that conversation, trust me. But I've been off the radar of her and the Council for over 2 decades. I aim to keep it that way. I am still a member of the Order and work in its best interests. I believe I can do that best by working outside their predictive models. Ah, you're validating my hypothesis. Thank you, dear. That's all any scientician ever wants. May the plan favor us against...
Remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decides what we can get, we respond to what you want. Tremulcular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Client intake. Very names employ. Why wait 20 years to bring a new product to market? When it can be enhancing people's lives now, as a responsible member of society, we allow you to take part in public. Respecting your right to risk a... We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals. With Auntie's Choice. Attention any and all no-getters on my payroll. It's time to recognize the downwardly
I just had word from that old number cruncher on Cloister. Alden tells me you agreed to continue the work we began at Greater Tranquility's collaboration between Auntie's Choice and the Order. Well, if they partner with us, it's only a matter of time before they come to see that profits are a more tangible proof of progress than those unquantifiable theories they get lost in.
Welcome to Head Office Tower. Again.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight. It's no mystery. Soon as an employee is reported missing, dead, or out sick 2 hours in a row, their name is read aloud in the daily demotions report.
The one delivered by Auntie? Everyone tunes into that. Most folk would do anything to have their names spoken by her.
Not in this context. Maybe someday we can bottle that kind of schadenfreude and sell it at a premium. Decent? I'll have you know that profits were forecast to be in the billions in my assessment last quarter.
That's not what we're talking about. Look, we found your lab on Cloister. A friend of mine who succumbed to his graft sent me there to put an end to your work. It was damn troubling. But after speaking with your doc, I came to see that the program's got much potential. If we shift focus, reform our work, grafts could better the lives for all folk. Rasmussen's now with Doc Tinsley in Fairfield, and they're ready to restart this work if we can get your agreement. No more killing, much more progress. What do you say?
I see someone failed out of the anti-Cleo School of Persuasion. Why would I ever pursue something so dull as reform? How does it serve me?
Troopers are getting maimed in battle, and many civvies are getting sick from lack of food, clean water. Folk feel helpless. Grafts could treat all that. Some creatures can regrow limbs and safely consume tainted goods. If we give folk those same abilities, they won't have anything to fear. They can heal from all the wars done to them.
Ah, I see now. With grafts, our employees can get back to work faster and for longer hours. You might have led with that. It's brilliant. But there is one small fly in the soup. Who exactly are you to dictate to me what we should be doing? I did not even know your name before you stepped through this door.
When I joined up in Tauceti, I was promised that if I proved myself, demonstrated exceptionalism, the moment would come where I could make a pitch for my own future. I ensured the safety of the delegates at the peace talks. I helped hunt down the fiend who destroyed our base on Golden Ridge. So yeah, I'd say the moment I'm owed has arrived.
Fine. Perhaps there is an opportunity here to expand our user base. But we can only pursue such a thing if we secure the funding. I could approach my business partner to this end, but I will require proof that this little reformation of yours is a viable investment. As such, you need to prove that a grafted trooper can achieve what the average one cannot.
You say that as though you have something in mind.
I do. The commander of our fortified position on Praetor has been chomping at the bit for a show of force. To rally the troops in our market share, so to speak. He will have all the minute details, of course, but assisting him and demonstrating your prowess will give us the leverage we need. I could tell you possessed a modicum of business sense. Head to Praetor. I'll send a reporter with camera drones to meet you there and debrief with our ground forces.
Hold on. You didn't say anything about this being filmed.
Heroism is nothing without exciting footage and a talking head to sell it to the masses. So do make sure you put on a good show. Off you go, then.
Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business.
There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to...
Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Oh, spare no detail.
This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better.
Why, I don't know what you're referring to, I'm sure. Compared to how I treat my staff, I'm being a peach.
If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed.
I suppose you've passed muster. Certainly not averse to getting your hands dirty. But the give and take of deal-making is another matter entirely. From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop.
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal. That is a compelling vision of the future. One I could perhaps support. Involving money in science seems questionable. But having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores.
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly.
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to, and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce.
Not to worry. We can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's choice and Order standards. Impartiality concerns are a thing of the past. Obviously, regulators would be incentivized to care most about the safety of the consumer. You know, right after production costs.
As would the likelihood that we will eventually improve upon it. We shall allow Auntie's control of the current design. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's Choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits, but I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later.
I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's Choice.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for.
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. Perhaps I have not been entirely forthright. This treatment will enact a permanent change in my personality. Irreversible. But it will not cost me anything I would lament losing.
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order.
A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. There is a strong likelihood that it will short-circuit my limbic system, eradicating my ability to experience emotion.
Oh, so you'll be even more of a bore. Doesn't sound like you'll be much fun at our future board meetings.
Only a child uses fun as a metric of any significance. I did not anticipate needing to fight for my own physical autonomy, but thank you for respecting my choice.
Oh, how it's delightful to me to see you squirm. All right. I'll get you your weird chemicals. I'll even provide you our corporate discount, practically wholesale. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be.
Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward.
By all means, know your worth and own your accomplishments. Perhaps when I'm more out of earshot, though. Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider.
We'll of course provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo!
Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, Order forces must move into our former headquarters at Spyreton. A simpler task now that you have liberated it. By all accounts, you thoroughly routed the enemy. Well done. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Rift data. And how did you come by this acquisition, if I may ask? I suppose you intended that statement to shock me. You forget, survival of the fittest is one of the pillars of scientism. We have all paid costs for knowledge. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
That was some damn fine intermediation, Commander. You might just have a future in finance. You know, after Auntie and the Order trounce the Protectorate.
We've successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved
quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants. And covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes?
Well, ain't meaning no disrespect, it's just everyone was saying that you were focused on a product launch or avoiding assassination attempts. That's why you weren't seen in public.
Poor dear, believing that erroneous drivel. You do know I have a reputation to maintain. I can't let every rung leech know my condition and open the door for plotting. I ask again, do you have any problems with the previously mentioned stipulations? Fortunately, when you're the head of an advanced medical technology corporation, you become first in line for any experimental life-preserving procedures. As far as what happened, I was the victim of an unfortunate industrial accident shortly after we arrived here, the details of which are less salient than the details of what comes next.
Not exactly. Well, exactly. But not in the way you think. We have a mission for you that is vital to Auntie's Choice's survival.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. There was a past proposal to utilize grafts, but, once I saw what happened to those misfortunates in the experiment, like your hanger-on here, the idea was promptly abandoned.
Wait, are you saying that the grafting program was only started up to help you with your condition? And was shuttered because it couldn't?
Yes, keep up, dear. You think we would have invested money in such a risky procedure for gains on the battlefield? Well, that's what bombs are for.
That means your scientists lied to us, and our suffering didn't mean anything at all. Is that right? Me and mine were just lab sprats to you this whole time?
This is what you signed up for. Tell me, did you also believe that we came here to solely liberate Arcadia and not for its resources? Oh, you did. How sad. The body I want isn't just some simple yet stylistically sutured together amalgamation of corpses to bolt my head atop.
Not this time, at any rate.
No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Praetor. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original Sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
Bolster defenses to protect key assets. Some of the order-derived direction can be downright oblique, but this is clear. Auntie is our most key asset.
Admit I'm finally beginning to come around to that computronic little plan. Perhaps there is something to having the archive advise on market strategy and positioning.
Yes, I've begun to draw the same conclusion. Appears it can be a useful tool in the right hands. In any case, next steps. There's a sub-facility beneath the automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss. But we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel.
Remember what we discussed and act equitably.
Credit where it's due. To me, as your chief executive, I've fostered a healthy...
From pop guns
Can't
to
tell the
self-propelled
difference between
cannons,
cover and
I have
concealment.
whatever size weaponry
Then
you need
a
to make
good
all
set
your
of armor
problems
before
past
someone
tense.
succeeds.
Have an update about that personal matter. You know, the one that might, end the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anais, Sir Bujol's research. Believe I have a lead on their identity. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. Oddly enough, to the anchor hold at Matriarch's Mercy Monastery. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but I'd suggest we journey there sooner than later. Inquire away. I may even respond. More than anyone alive, I suppose. Not that I agree with all of her stated conclusions. In our time at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, I gained many colleagues. But the work had cognitive demands. Let's say I possessed more associates than friends. She needn't have worried, though. I have recently come to appreciate personal connection. Theoretically. In a typically roundabout fashion, more or less. Not sure how she concluded that so quickly, but it was a reasonable hypothesis based on available data. I mean, of course I know who I am. Or that is, I know who I was. Who I am now is a work in progress. A revise and resubmit. May all our travails add to the equation.
Feels like I got some hydrometa fluttering around in my stomach, Commander. Not literally. You know what I mean. Willard's clearly got a lot riding on how we do on Praetor. I ain't keen on having so few details for a mission. For anyone who ain't us, I'd say it's a surefire path toward failure. Reckon that's my way of saying I'd like to find out what exactly is in store for us. Sooner rather than later. Sure. Got someone in mind? Fine by me.
The cultist known as Azza has been admitted to the ship roster. Among her registered weapons is what she refers to as her disemboweling knife. This unit reminds the commander that anticoagulants are your first line of defense when injury occurs.
willing to lend a hand at the exclusion film. Tend to the injuries as they can.
I thought that the Protectorate have only been told a watered-down division of Order philosophy.
Yeah. I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now. They should have been sealed in that room to focus on their studies uninterrupted. No one in or out. I'd suspect the missing anchorite knows something, at least. We should ask her. Might be some signs in there of where she went. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the missing anchorite got off to. We should keep looking. There may be more to learn here. I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered. Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloister mate Anchor's Brun has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the Laureate Council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the Order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchoress Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth who requested access to Anais' work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something, that they'd mentioned an old Order research station. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden, placed by the name of Point Obviation. I don't know what happened to Anchoress Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious, and the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the Order. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We're past that. The research is out there. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan to annihilate the idea. This is the exact sort of work we did at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. Diverting problematic events. We learned how to best respond once things begin to spread. We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can discuss once we see the situation on the ground. Yes, time to seek out Anchoress Brunn.
That reporter's gotta be nearby. Ain't keen to jump to conclusions, but I think I got a notion of what we're doing here.
I'm Orland Crawford, the outsourced but never outmatched wartime correspondent for the ACS Undisputed Claim. You must be the grafted soldier, here to show us all what you can do.
The name's Inez, and yes, Willard Conan sent me to help you with some sort of... I don't know what, exactly.
Now, let's not skip on introductions. Who is this you have with you?
Don't sell yourself short, Commander. You face consequences all the time.
Ah yes, the unlucky sort. The soldier and her hapless companion. It'll do.
Never seen a grafted trooper in action before, but I'm looking forward to watching you work. Your mission, trooper, is to capture the Protectorate blockade to the north. Their defenses are too great to face head-on, so you'll want to sneak in through the back entrance. We've obtained the entry codes through great effort.
My camera drones will be filming the action from above, so do put on a good show, blow up a few things, and use Inessa's abilities to demonstrate the might of Auntie's choice. Yes?
They've detained several of our scouts. I'd like to see them returned. If you deliver this weapons cache to them and free them, they might offer some aid in the fight.
This is quite the opportunity. Normally, a POW might be written off as shrinkage, an unfortunate, unavoidable loss. But their rescue will be worth far more in publicity.
So what? If I hadn't come along, you all would have left those troopers to rot.
Our motto is to leave no man behind, unless it breaches our contract and promises financial penalties, which this does. Now, take these codes for the back door and go.
Once you infiltrate the blockade, neutralize our foes, and open the gates, our remaining troops will move in to secure the blockade for ourselves. Any questions? The drilling crew near the chemical plant is working to punch a path through the mountains. You could use such a path, but for some reason, their job is taking longer than expected.
Or you could go through the automech production facility north of here. But that's where the scout who brought us the codes lost his life. So proceed with caution and a loaded gun.
Though I trust you may fare better than that poor sod did, I do look forward to seeing you take the fight to the Protectorate. It's about time Auntie gave him a good walloping. Ooh, and spare some time for me after you emerge victorious, won't you? What am I saying? Of course you will! Who wouldn't want to be interviewed for the wireless? Go on now!
I thought the flattery was going to lead into an insult of my training techniques, or my proclivity for vanity.
Of course not. I simply was surprised that a non-protectorate individual could perform satisfactorily.
Well, for my part, I didn't expect much from you neither. But you've got great form, strong quadriceps. Not that I'm looking that closely. Anyway.
I'll save you the trip. Not a pebble has budged. Same is true of our bit accounts, sadly. That's what it was? We stopped digging because we'd been picking up strange readings and... Wait, that means they already dug half the tunnel for me. That bonus is still in reach. That don't change me needing to get the commander's go-ahead to restart the digging. What say you run yourself back to the base and get me the okay? Just down the road. Can't miss it.
What have we here? You're definitely not a member of my battalion. You best be here on business. My time is valuable. That is by far the best news I've heard all day. If you were one of mine, I'd give you a promotion for speeding along my departure from this sad lump of rock they call a moon. I'll send orders to have them finish the tunnel immediately.
Mighty glad that's over and done with. Just need to finish reinforcing the tunnel, and I can collect a big fat bit cartridge.
Punitive action! None shall stand against us! Ready to dispense!
Here we are, about to kick the proverbial mantisaur nest. Hope you're ready for your close-up. Damn. Of course they
At your word, I shall...
It is a privilege. Agitators! Each of them rebuilt.
for the history books. Let's open the gate for that reporter and the troops before these bodies get cold.
Over here! Let's have a word with the hero of the moment! Well, the blockade is certainly ours now, but that was hardly more impressive than any other raid in this law-forsaken colony. I'm afraid my drones didn't get what we needed them to.
That hasn't stopped you lot from spinning a story before. You said something about an interview earlier. Well, I'll answer your questions. You'll make me look good in return?
It's audio only, Trooper, and you're working with a true professional now. Let me work, huh? Relax. Be authentically you, though you'd be wise to throw in a tagline or two. Ready?
Well,
Great! Recording's already begun. I'm here, live at the scene with the fearsome grafted soldier Inez. It's a shame you cannot see this, dear listener, for it is impressive indeed. Inez, your destruction of those dastardly Protectorate troops was awe-inspiring. You must feel like the employee of the month, having brought such a decisive victory to Auntie's choice.
I'm just, doing my part. I joined up because I believed in our mission, to liberate Arcadia. Reckon my actions illustrate that more than anything I could ever say. Suppose I do know a thing or two about a pep talk. Given many in my time to troopers suffering injury or boredom.
How wonderful! I hadn't realized Inez here had initiated a recruitment campaign. Truly a lesson to us all. Dear audience, the voice you just heard is that of the soldier's close associate, an eyewitness to the battle and the marvelous carnage littering the land. You also paved the way for us to free some of our troopers from the Protectorate's fiendish grasp. One can only imagine the torture they suffered.
Look, I did what anyone with an ounce of sense would do. Ain't gonna leave one of my own in such a state. And if I had it my way, I would have acted sooner. Yeah, that's exactly right. I plan on doing everything in my power to bring a swift end to this war, and keep as many civvies out of harm's way as possible.
A heartwarming sentiment, but not too swift an end to the war, I hope. It's good for business, as we all know. In any case, those soldiers can finally return to their postings again. Now, I have a question about your abilities, Inez. What sets a trooper like you apart from the rest?
These graphs make me stronger. Good in a bind. I know I'm a bit of a curiosity. Ain't too many of us left. But there is so much good we can do with grafting, if we try. I got a plan, see? To start the grafting program up again. The research is promising, and with the right backing, it could be a product that can better the lives of everyone.
A fascinating idea. I think we'd all sleep soundly if we knew more of you were running amok on our behalf. Before we wrap, have you anything else of note to tell our undoubtedly enraptured audience? This was an interview for radio, and that's a wrap. Astonishingly well. Rest assured, our listeners will be glued to their radios for all the lurid details, and to hear more of my award-deserving reporting, naturally.
Well, that's a damn sight better than I was anticipating. Willard will have to make good on our deal now. Let's head back and speak with him.
You do that, and I will remain here, burdened by the drudgery of war. Farewell.
As I expected, spies from Anti-Cleo! Seize them!
To battle!
remember, commercialism is the foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship books, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the decide what insurgents get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more,
soon I'll be able to leave. You're back! Finally! Finally! Do you have it? Did you bring it here? A last-minute shakedown, is it? I knew I liked you. Yes, of course. Fine, fine. Oh, let me see it. Yes, indeed. Oh, let me look at you, gorgeous. If you'll all just excuse me a moment as I slip into something more formidable.
There you are. Congratulations. Now your body's almost as intimidating as your mind. You've narrowed the gap quite a bit.
Oh, Auntie, you look amazing. Absolutely everyone will want a new mech body after watching you strut the walk.
What about you? What do you think? Any first impressions you'd like to share? Wonderful! Exactly the effect I was hoping for. What's more, it's an undeniable confirmation that the archive-derived strategic plan can be reliably executed and produces incredible results. With their predictive abilities refining our planning and execution, our market dominance is a foregone conclusion. Yes, so much to do, and we have you to thank for making it happen. I am quite looking forward to you working for me further. As they say, time is capital, time is bits. You're burning lucre just standing there. Go!
Sounds like red ink to Auntie. Our Tossball teams play for keeps. I witnessed no fewer than 6 critical blunt force traumas in last week's contest between the Easy Heel Loafers and Spectrum Brand Bandits. I'd pit our least bankable Tossball team.
Ah, so the conquering heroes have returned from the blockade. But perhaps heroes is too strong a term, considering the proof of your heroics is sorely lacking. The footage showing the taking of the blockade is near unusable. Oh, where are my manners? Commander, Inez, meet our new benefactor. This is the business partner I spoke to you about, and she has graciously agreed to fund our new venture.
Yes, we've met. Now, let's not get overly ahead of ourselves. Putting on a show is 40% of the battle. The remaining 60% is messaging.
Well, I'd say these two certainly made our correspondence job easier. Only Auntie herself could have done a finer job at providing sound bites.
Let's try not to exaggerate. It was a fine showing. Now, with her as the face of the brand, we might really have something.
Look, I know I ain't exactly the profile of a business partner, but I know medicine, and I know the potential of grafts more than anyone. You'll not find my experience anywhere.
Perhaps so, but unfortunately I can't be expected to simply take your word for it. You know how it is. Low-level workers have a certain flair for lying and grifting, whilst concurrently exaggerating all accomplishments and ills.
But we can trust your word as her current supervisor. What sort of performance review might you give this associate?
Thanks.
That's a reasonable endorsement. Wouldn't fit in the one-line write-in space for her quarterly appraisal, but I suppose you couldn't know.
So we have a deal then? I admit that the raid and the interview may not have gone as swimmingly as I would have liked, but there is something there.
Suppose I can make good on the funding after all. We'll see in time where this arrangement leaves us. In any case, good day.
So that's it. We're clear to restart the grafting program. And you'll abide by my demands. No more senseless killing. No more hurting folk.
Of course not. Unless said folk agree to it. Yes, we are at an agreement. Consider this a bonus for your efforts. When the time is right, I will reach out to you for further planning. You have been instrumental, soldier. Inez, well done indeed. Afraid not. Farewell.
And let's bludgeon the competition. See you at center field.
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend to be
Get you something?
down for a modest fee to each
I know one. Vallo Andrews, owner of the Best Choice. Wasn't too keen on our success. Melchiadja said she's meaner than a bag of raptidons. I'll miss his wit. The only way I'd ever make it in that place is crawling through a vent. Some of us have pride. More's the pity.
chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer-Tyler, 6th base person for the Auntie Cleo's Darlings. I cleaved Spacer's Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that Moon Man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Auntie's Choice! Darlings! We won! Hostile takeover this! Right back at...
I'm Auntie Cleo, and I endorse this message. Attention valued employees. Auntie here to brighten your workday with a report on just how much money your toil is netting us. It's time for profit forecast time, starting with product development.
What now? Have an issue with the service? She's in her office. Door to your right. Oh, say it isn't so.
Sales of new and improved stimulants and nutrition supplements.
What are you doing back here? No one's allowed. Who left that door unlocked? What are you even doing in my bar? Someone will be fired over this. Then, once they reach the nadir of their sorrows, rehired, only that I may fire them again. And I don't know what you think you're seeing here, but ignore all this.
Their department alone is responsible for a...
Why, yes, I am. Not sure I appreciate your insinuating tone there. It's a Raptidon bite, a unique concoction devised by Melchiadja's Alcantara, who was simply my dearest friend. Or was. I procured its recipe from him before his unfortunate passing, and before you ask, yes, I have receipts for everything.
But I get results. Writ large in black ink on our balance sheet.
Here you are. One lightly bloody, slightly less secret recipe. Time for you to blunder out the way you blundered in.
Item. Business is good. We have positive bit flow. Tramacular, arriving any moment now.
Mister, any bits to spare?
Hey everybody, look who it is. Our duly contracted proxy. All finished? Knew he was connected. What'd you find out? He tell you any secrets about Auntie?
Or inspiring stories about her career ascent. You know, that might act as encouragement to them like us, presently stagnating in our position of paid employee.
Huh. A rumor had it she was one of the Schuyler line, old money family, type who looked down at anybody who worked for a living. Never seemed like her. I got a whole lot of insightful observations like that, you know.
Wait, there's been more than one Auntie Cleo? Explains a lot, now that I think about it. Like how she ain't a few hundred years old. Huh.
That everything?
Whoa! Just like normal people.
That's real relatable. I mean, we all done that, right? But I just never thought she would. 'Cause she's Auntie, you know?
Yeah, like she could eat a bar right out of the paste obtruder, the freshest and least natural it's ever gonna be.
What else?
Stack the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Talisetti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's Choice devious shenanigans lying down?
Can't even imagine possessing that degree of marketing acumen.
You could just tell people how to think and do things. Like to not constantly yell at you all the time for only just doing your job.
Those details were highly motivating, both personally and professionally. Real roadmap to success kind of thing.
Diverges greatly from events depicted in Auntie the Musical, the all-singing adaptation of Auntie's life story, which we've all, of course, watched 9 times. Didn't make the drink, or didn't make... Oh, I see.
Less we know about all that, the better. But I knew you'd effectuate effectually. Right? Wasn't I just saying? Here, for your trouble, from all of us. Now, about that last person of interest. There's a former Spacer's Choice VIP in the brig. We tried talking to him, you know, to see if he had any useful dirt. But he's kind of mean.
Full of scathing invective.
Belittling, one might say. But, you know, tough sort like you might have an easier go of it. Nah, they got him set up like in olden times. They let everybody walk up and holler at him, throw produce and such. Whatever that is. You know, we all been chewed out pretty fiercely before. Kind of a regular occurrence, really. But I swear, I ain't never...
I still have nightmares. Sometimes I think I hear his voice and I start to run.
Uh-huh. Likewise. Future generations will tell cautionary bedtime stories about that day. Oh, that sounded very take charge. Have to remember that. Okay, we'll make sure you've got authorization to the brig when you arrive. May you effectuate effectually toward the agreed-upon goal state. That's the middle manager handbook again. Real take charge stuff.
Tramacular, arriving any moment now. We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it.
From pop guns to solar propelled cannons,
cover and concealment.
exercise weaponry you need to make all your
artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced
Ah, wonderful. More of you.
unavoidable embedded chemicals.
Come to jeer at a fallen old rival like all the rest? Swear I heard from everybody else in this rickety tub. So far, I am decidedly unimpressed. Been some sorely lackluster heckling from your colleagues. Clever as barbs weren't clever enough by half. Not expecting much, but go ahead. Try your worst. Let's hear it.
Business is good. We have positive bit flow.
That was almost all right. Better than most. Pretty so-so. Got anything else? You implying I'm suffering from oxygen deprivation? You do know the only thing keeping us breathing on this tub is an air scrubber built by the lowest bidder. Joke's on all of us. Anyhow, you done yet? Or you got more? That joke cuts both ways, friend. You look like a walking petri dish yourself. For once, I'm glad this is a full face mask, too. You're almost half decent at this. Not especially skilled, but not atrocious. Not good, though. Definitely not good. Don't abandon your present employment by any means. Wait, you didn't come here for the express purpose of ridicule and castigation? Well, certainly embraced it, though. Respect the flexibility and commitment. So, all right, I give up. What do you want? By that measure, everyone outside Auntie's choice would be interesting. And trust me, nobody's an inkling as captivating as I am. Look, I appreciate the attention and all, but does any of this benefit me? Because otherwise, you might as well just jeer away.
Every budget, from the most extravagant to the most bit-minded of customers. We have food and drink for every taste.
That may all be well and good, but I'm from a real corporation, Spacer's Choice, where we believe in the inequitable exchange of goods and services. Furthermore, and consequently, I don't do nothing without something in return. Anything else would be unseemly. Think you have me over a barrel, huh? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Don't worry. What I'm going to ask for should be a real pip. Just a mild vexation. Doesn't hurt anybody. Won't make you their enemy if you're worried. That's the spirit. Name's Himanshu Tegulapalli. Regional brand manager for Tau Ceti. Spacer's Choice. Auntie has it in for all of us former reps. But me in particular. Been humiliating Spacer's Choice every chance she gets. You seen those display images mocking the Moon Man? Dressed up like a baby? Petty stuff. Being completely one-sided. Till now. You bet. I want my turn. Figured I earned it. I mean, look at me. I taped a particularly scathing diatribe earlier. Patch it into the PA system. Let me have my say. The PA system controls are in the back room at client intake. Had it all worked out earlier, before I got caught. The audio cartridge is in an evidence locker in the room behind that desk. Bet if you just ask the guard over there nicely for access, she'd open it right up for you. Wonderful. That broadcast is gonna be the finest verbal rebuke of my career. I should mention, while you're on this ship, Auntie's Choice has a few products what might improve your odor, looks, and breath. Sorry. Couldn't help myself.
Even with half our team, 32 bats benched,
Welcome to The Brig by Corporate Compliance. Please do not taunt the prisoners. Thank you. I know what I said, and I meant what I said. Visitors to the brig are required to taunt the prisoners, at least to the best of their abilities. Well, you'd probably pay me to remotely unlock it, and/or ask me in a remarkably debonair fashion.
Anti-Cleos was specifically founded to fight what nature inflicts.
All right, see that door behind me? It's suddenly somehow been left mysteriously unlocked. Pleasure doing business at you.
Unfettered free trade and self-betterment throughout the galaxy.
Tronicular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Client intake.
Better through artificial means at Auntie's choice. 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an enhanced existence.
Attention all employees of this poor excuse for corporate plundership. This ill-conceived, off-brand take on an oligarchy. Say what you will of Spacer's Choice and the other corporations, but none of us ever put big ideas in people's heads. Yes, our work was being done. Hope is better than false hope, right? This company thinks they're going to be somebody someday. It ain't gonna happen. Anti-Cleo's marketing you a bunch of wishful thinking The story of Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stack the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Anti-Cleo take Spacer's Choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Anti-Cleo's darlings refused to do what things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer Tyler, 6th base person for the Anti-Cleo's Darlings. I believe Spacers Chosen goalie and
from pop guns to
whatever size weapon you need a good set of armor before someone succeeds at ventilating you.
One! Hostile takeover this! Right back at you!
I'm Anti-Cleo. Attention valued employees. Anti here to brighten your work.
Nice work. A sterling performance by both of us. I've been waiting to give everybody here a piece of my mind for some time now.
Starting with product development. The Force Lobe.
You've heard about the Spacer's Choice and Anti-Cleo merger, I'm sure. But things went down a little differently than Anti makes out around here. Anti was attempting a hostile takeover, but we outplayed her, voted her and her execs out, and we shipped Anti and all her diehard followers out to Tau Ceti as an example. After Earth went dark, Anti was technically the senior ranking executive in Tau Ceti, and she used that to take over the colony. But everything she's been doing since has been quasi-legal at best, including her being CEO of Anti's Choice. With Earth being dark, no one has proof to call her on it. This little ruse of hers will collapse and she'll be exposed for every corporation to see. Then, law willing, she'll be executed for treason against a legitimate corporation. If I were Auntie, and thankfully I'm not, I'd say she's betting if she takes over Arcadia, she can prevent all that from happening. Success here leading to success there and such. What I had to say was more important. People here needed to hear how bad they've been bamboozled by that self-determinism claptrap. The rest is going to come out eventually anyway. After that, we can all go back to exploiting each other honestly. No thanks. Once Spacer's Choice is back in control, I'll be running this place in no time.
Tramicular, arriving any moment now.
I done falled off the corporate ladder.
Any update on the man in the Moon Man mask? Heard the announcement, assume that was your doing. Wait! What?
But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's Choice devious shenanigans lying down? No!
What? But Auntie said the last message that arrived from Earth was the board putting her in charge. Guess that does sound rather convenient.
Wait, this is bad. Knowing this is not good. This sort of dirt gets a person killed. This may call for an executive decision.
What does the middle manager handbook say to do at a time like this?
Says here, unfinished business leaves one undone. Trim loose ends before everything comes unraveled. Well, that sounds rather dire, contextually.
Yeah, Twombly. Maybe we should worry more about them right now. That's exactly what the corporate assassins in the Aetherwave serials say before they terminate someone, in an indifferent display of artful treachery.
Ah, I remember that scene. We need to front stab them before they backstab us. Attack!
Have time for a chat, Commander? Willard, Vice President Conan, sent me a message just now about how the investment meeting went. Seems he showed off the footage from the blockade, interview and all, and they all agreed to fund the grafting program and start it up again in earnest. I think we actually pulled this off, Commander. They even thought to bring me into middle management for the program. Can you believe it? After you and I finish what we set out to do for Arcadia, of course. I'd say closing these rifts take priority over a career change. I'm realizing now that I never really imagined something like this was possible after ending my contract like that. Never thought I'd be at the forefront of a military campaign. Never thought I'd be able to change much about Auntie's Choice, let alone that I'd want to. But here I am. Reckon you could say I proved myself after all. Thank you, Commander, for everything. Anyhow, that's enough sorting my thoughts for the moment. We got a galaxy to save. Halt! Bye-bye. Cease any and all manner of perambulation. Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The end point?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Ancrus Brunn straight away.
We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Assuming you'll vouchsafe for your colleagues, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation.
Ancrus Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
I'm with Marisol. Given the security here, we don't tread lightly. Leaving peacefully might not be an option later.
Everyone! What's the end point? Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
Yeah! I am a long-time vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor Delgado. I hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected.
Doubt the Anchoress will walk away from the research lightly. May require some aggressive convincing.
Oh, who's this? Oh, yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion. I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped me prove my argument that pacifism always presents the best options. I admit I have modified that opinion slightly since then. I understand your actions led to Seer Wiley's unfortunate demise. Such a bright boy, such promise. And as for you, I've been informed that you're Marisol Delgado. I've read your file, an impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
So over time, there were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? Surely you're aware of the myriad errors of our current presiding bishop and previous regime, one of whom shut down the division that operated here, the other squandered it. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Yes, we have Grace, that is Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the anchor hold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researcher's theories.
Really? Seer Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Yes, we're so very pleased to have her. If you thought her work before was captivating, wait until you hear the experiment she's overseeing now. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Sia Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting.
How much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work. Head Intercessor Delgado, what an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again? I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that, or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help, or stay out of my way. The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix, to simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful, so I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment. All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brun will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the second floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent. It's only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
Ascendancy is not so it says in the context.
That should do it. That should do it.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings are final, enter the terminal command to void the oxygen from the test chamber. The experiment will then begin.
Did it work? Did it work? See, Bujold, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun, but she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good. All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an Order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change. Success isn't guaranteed. A fair degree of cleverness is required. But you would have the help of someone reasonably intellectually nimble.
I would be willing and on hand to assist, and the other option would remain if we botch it.
I've seen plenty of folks shot. Never seen a logic bomb brain off. That's getting my vote.
Seems reasonable. Appreciate you listening. Murder shouldn't be our first option here. Too many drawbacks, both mathematically and ethically.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well. I have been trying to be different. From the person others believe me to be.
From the legend? If you're retiring as the endpoint, we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet. But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchorus is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchorus to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchorus realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely. Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. And Marisol, do keep out of trouble.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything. What? Are you all right? Did you hit your head coming up here? I mean, what is that supposed to mean? It couldn't... Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry. Really? In what way? Did Seer Bujold fail to explain? Using her theorem, we can map the position and path of every atom in a simulated universe, then extrapolate that to solve the equation. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected, an anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. Now, I'm starting to believe you're just needlessly fretting. Is this nerves? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be dismissive. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom. Oh, is one of you a seer now? Because I put considerable more stock in the prognostications of the Order's prime mathematicians than I do any old run-of-the-mill soothsayer. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Seer Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant. That's both incorrect and rather mean. The experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. There was some variance to the input data. Not far beyond acceptable parameters, but curious. Could explain the failure. Oh, come. One bad test wouldn't mean the science is completely flawed. I fear this was a waste of valuable time.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Seer Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
We tried. Our fallback plan's our only option now. Head for the hatch.
What was that? You're starting to worry me. What do you intend to do?
Scholars of the Order, a tragic accident has occurred. During our recent experiment in Test Chamber Beta, we failed to recognize that ventilation systems had been left connected to Test Chamber Alpha. As you know, it had been recently refurbished as an enclosure for Anchoress Brun. She gave her life for science. Well, it's true that we found the related research deeply flawed, but she gave her life for the pursuit of science. As the experiment was a colossal failure, I, as senior scientist remaining, have determined we must abandon this inquiry and shut down the program immediately. Oh, such a terrible shame. Farewell!
understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Anchor's Brunn falls prey to an unfortunate accident right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events are unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. Don't try to lay the responsibility for this on me. I'm not buying it. The Anchoress, poor trusting soul that she was, may have believed you were here in good faith, but I don't. You're looking more and more like enemies to me. You think I'm predisposed to assume their logic is sound and reasoning impeccable? Perhaps I do defer in part where such intellects are involved. Yet, the greater facts of this matter remain unevinced, and I remain unconvinced. No, I expect not. I suppose I just needed you to be. I wanted so much to do something here, something relevant, meaningful. Now it's all gone. I don't know what to believe anymore. Go on, get out of here, before I change my mind. Fellow exemplars of the Order, stand down.
Change runs any reason with it. A mind like hers could have solved a lot of problems in the galaxy.
The Anchoress had to be stopped. The rest, I just tried not to think about.
Look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Say, I know this was difficult and rather a mess, but you listened. You tried to do right before you did what you must. I appreciate it, the attempt. No matter how that may sound.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye. Oh, Brunn obviously murdered her. Thought you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply wanted to knock Chow unconscious so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me. Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
Seer Bujold sure was something. Hope you didn't take any of her harsher comments to heart.
Commander, it's customary to evaluate results after a mission of reasonable significance. Would now be good? I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through. A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. We could have done better by Ankrus Brunn. If we'd properly convinced her to abandon the research, I'd doubtlessly still lament duping her, but she'd be alive. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line. Southworth was complicit, yes. Though she's alive, I believe we've squashed her reviving my old department. Struck me as little more than a functionary with a gun, truth be told. I hope so, at least. According to Anais, we could have reduced the likelihood of that occurring by completing the brain-off. It's not anywhere near zero, but it's unlikely. She seemed pleased that we at least attempted to address her concerns, so I've changed, apparently. Thanks to you. It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.